so this is still right here, topic 10 part D, topic 10 part D, but it's problem number 2. Problem number 2. So let's talk about this. So so number 2 says this: a circle has center -4, -2 and contains the point 2, 4. And then we should find the length of the radius. All right. So again, remember what I said earlier, sometimes it's helpful if you draw the diagram. So your center is -4, -2. So -4, -2 is right here. And it contains the point 24. So the point 24 is here. Now what that means, it contains the point 24, it means that when you draw your circle, 2 fours on that circle. That's all that means. But remember what this is. This is a center, right? So that means that the radius, if I can find the ruler, that the radius is this. Remember, the radius is the segment from the center to a point on the circle. So that's your radius this time, okay? Not the diameter, that's the radius because this was your center. And so your circle, if I kind of draw it as best I can, your circle kind of looks like this. So there's your center right here. There's a point of the circle, and so that's your radius. So this is what it says. The center is this. That's this right here. It contains the point 24. So containing the point 24 means that that point is on the circle. And so I'm just drawing the circle as best I can. So there's the radius. So all these distances should be the same. Okay. And look at what it's asking. It's asking find the length of the radius. All right, well, think about that. How are you going to find the length of this radius right here? What formula are you going to use? You're going to use the distance formula, right? So to find the length of the radius, you're going to use the distance formula. And remember the distance formula, I'm going to go ahead and write it right here. The distance formula we just saw is the square root of, and on this I'm going to put x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. There's your distance formula, okay? So you can subtract the x's from each other, you can subtract the y's from each other, and you're going to square those and add them up and take the square root. And so I want you to see that if you're trying to find the length of this segment right here, this is the point. This is the point 2, 4. And this right here, the center, remember, is -4, -2. So here's your x's and here's your y's. And you just subtract them. That's all you do. So you're going to say this. So the radius is going to equal the square root of. And remember, it does not matter the order in which you subtract the x coordinates. So if you want to put -4 first, that's fine. It does not matter. So you're going to say -4 subtract 2 squared plus, and then the y, subtract -2 subtract 4. -2 subtract 4 squared. And then let's go ahead and simplify this. So it'll be the square root of -2 and a -4 is a -6 squared. Extend that symbol. Plus, and then -2 and a -4 is also a -6 squared. And then that becomes the square root of -6 times itself is 36. -6 times -6 is also 36, and you get the square root of 72. Okay? All right. Now, so there's the radius. Now, why is it that here in this problem, when we did part B in number 1, why is it that we divided by 2? And here I'm saying that's the answer. You don't divide by 2. Why is it we divided by 2 here, but we're not dividing by 2 here? Well, the reason is because of this. Here, this is the length of the diameter. And so if you're trying to find the length of the radius, you got to divide the diameter by 2. Here, this is the radius that we're looking at. So remember this, the diagram? That's the radius. That's not the diameter. So once you find it, you're done. Square root of 72. Okay? And watch how simple this is now. part B. So there's the answer for part A. Here's how simple part B is. Find the standard form of the equation of a circle. So remember, the standard form of the equation of a circle is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. And to write the standard form of the equation of a circle, you have to know the center, which is hk. And I do, right? Isn't the center this? -4, -2? So h is -4, k is -2. And you have to know the radius. And I do. The radius is square root of 72. Don't simplify it. If you want to simplify it, you can, by the way. So the square root of 72 would be the square root of 36 times the square root of 2. 36 times 2 is 72. And the square root of 36 is 6. So this is 6 square root of 2. But if when I substitute, I'm going to use this one instead. Because watch what happens. So the radius is square root of 72. And I'm going to substitute, put that into here. So that becomes x minus h is -4 squared, plus y minus k is -2 squared, equals the radius, which is square root of 72 squared. And so rewriting this, remember, don't leave it like this. You need to know that x minus the -4 means the same thing as x plus 4 squared. Y minus the -2 is y plus 2 squared. And you have to know, don't leave it like this now, square root of 72 squared. You have to know that the square root of 72 times the square root of 72 is just 72. And so there's your answer. All right, so there's part A, there's part B. It's a little bit different than one, because one, you started out with different information. So in one, you were talking about endpoints of a diameter. Here, you're talking about a center and a point on the circle. So different information, you go through a different process to get to that standard form. All right, and then number 3. So a lot of students get confused at number 3. So let me just kind of explain that as best I can with this. So here's what number 3 is saying. Number 3 is saying this. Write the equation of the set of all points that are a distance of 3 units from -2, 4. And so when they read this, when students read this, it throws them off because they're not sure what this thing looks like. So let's talk about that. So it says this, write the equation of a set of all the points that are a distance of 3 units from -2, 4. So let's look at -2, 4 for a moment. So here's -2, 4. And this says you want to look at all the points that are 3 units away from it. So I'm going to go 3 units to the right, 1, 2, 3. 3 units up, 1, 2, 3. 3 units to the left, 1, 2, 3. 3 units down, 1, 2, 3. And remember, if 3 units this way, 3 units this way, 3 units this way, 3 units this way, do you see that that's a circle? That what you're describing here is a circle? This right here, you're describing a circle. And the set of all points that they're talking about is this circle right here. And so all they want to know is, what's the equation of the circle? That's what they want to know, the equation of circle. Well, the equation of a circle, remember in standard form, is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So I'm going to go ahead and write that here. So you're going to use x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So based on what I just drew for you, you know the center, right? You know the center. The center's hk. You know the center here. Even though nowhere in that problem did it use the word center, you knew after looking at the graph of it, you knew that the center is this -2, 4. This right here is your center in this problem, in that description, -2, 4. So your h is -2 and your k is 4. Your radius, now let's think about the radius. Remember, the radius is the distance from the center to a point of the circle, right? So can you tell me what all of these distances are? How many units is each of those distances? 3 units, right? This right here is your radius. So the radius is 3. And then all you do is just put all that information back into here. So you get x minus a negative 2 squared plus y minus k, which is 4 squared, equals the radius squared, and the radius is 3. But again, don't leave your answer like this because you can simplify this. So you're going to say x plus 2 squared plus y minus 4 squared equals, and 3 squared is 9. All right, so that was the second part. This right here is the second part of that worksheet on topic 10, part D. All right, so that's going to take care of the circles. Now the next thing you're going to talk about is systems.